Before you write an offer on a home, there's one thing that you've got to understand, and that's the earnest money deposit. And no, it is not optional. What's going on, guys? I'm John King with Berkshire Hathaway RW Town Realty here in Hampton Roads. And today I'm going to break down one of the most misunderstood parts of a real estate contract, the earnest money deposit, also referred to as the EMD. All right, so what is the EMD? The EMD is basically your good faith deposit. It shows the seller you're serious about buying their home. I want you to think of it as putting a little skin in the game, all right? How much is an earnest money deposit? Well, in Hampton Roads, the earnest money deposit is commonly about 1% of the purchase price, but it can be adjusted more or less depending on the market, your offer strategy, and really how competitive the home is. If it's really competitive, you might want to bump that number up on that deposit. When do you pay for this deposit? You typically pay it within the first few business days after your offer is accepted and it gets held by a neutral third party, usually a closing attorney or title company, etc. And is it refundable? Well, yes and no. The earnest money deposit is refundable if something in the contract allows you to walk away. For example, your home inspection contingency, the appraisal contingency, financing, or a HOA condo document review, okay? When do you lose the earnest money deposit? This is important. You can lose your EMD if you breach the contract, meaning you back out for no reason that's not covered by a contingency. That's why it's so important to work with a realtor who knows this paperwork inside and out, the four corners of that contract. I know it very, very well. What happens to it at closing? Well, at closing, the earnest money deposit goes directly towards your down payment or your closing costs. So it's not a fee. It's simply money paid up front that gets credited back to you at closing, all right? The bottom line is that earnest money deposit protects both sides of the transaction. It shows commitment from you as a buyer, and it gives the seller confidence you're not going to walk away without any cause, especially after they've moved out of their home, right? If you want help understanding earnest money deposits, contingencies, or negotiating the strongest offer here in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, or anywhere throughout Hampton Roads, reach out to me anytime, 757-270-3994. I'm John King, and I'll see y'all around town.